This video provides an overview of child in need of care CINC cases in Louisiana, outlining the legal framework and processes designed to protect children in vulnerable situations. These cases come up when a child is living in dangerous conditions, and the government steps in to make sure they are safe. The main goal is to take care of kids who have been abused or neglected and also help their families overcome problems that could break them apart. In CINC cases, the court identifies that a child requires assistance and support to ensure their well-being. Different people like social workers, lawyers, and the court system work together to make sure the child is safe and gets the care they need. This team works collaboratively together to ensure that every decision is made in the best interest of the child, with the goal of creating a stable and secure environment for them. In CINC cases, children have the right to a lawyer who represents them. This is important because it makes sure that the child's needs and interests are taken care of in court. The CINC process follows a structured outline, but these steps can vary depending on the unique circumstances of each case. This video is an overview of the typical stages involved in the CINC process. Let's get started. The first step is reporting concerns about a child's safety. CINC cases initially usually begin when someone reports concerns about the child's well-being to the Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, Child Protective Services. This leads to an investigation, where DCFS steps to see if the report is true and if the child is safe. The findings of this investigation guide DCFS in determining the necessary actions to ensure the child's protection, focusing on the child's best interest and well-being. If the child is in immediate danger, DCFS might take emergency steps like taking them out of the home or finding a safe place for them. The next step is typically the court hearing. The initial 72-hour hearing in a CINC case is a critical step, occurring shortly after a child is removed from their home due to safety concerns. This hearing is pivotal in assessing the reasons for the removal and determining temporary custody. It lays the groundwork for the case's progression, focusing on immediate safety and care arrangements for the child. During this hearing, the court might also talk about a safety plan order. This is a plan that says how to keep the child safe while they are in temporary custody. It could include things like limits on contact or visits, the need for supervision, or other rules based on what's happening in the case. They also make a plan for what will happen next with the child's care, visits, and services. If the child is with the parents, the court might say what needs to happen to keep the child safe while they are still with the parents. If the child has been removed, the court decides if the temporary custody arrangement should continue. They will also plan for next stages of the child's care. The next step in the process is when the district attorney's office, on behalf of DCFS, formally requests the court's intervention by submitting a petition. The petition includes verified information about abuse or neglect found during the investigation and provides evidence to show that the child is in a vulnerable situation and needs the court's help to ensure their safety and well-being. The petition must be filed in a timely manner, or the child may be returned home or the case plan may be automatically terminated. The parents receive a copy of the petition and may respond. During this time, they can review the allegations or talk to a lawyer if they want. If parents don't respond within 15 days, the court may make decisions without their input. After the petition is filed, an answer court hearing will be scheduled to address the allegations and concerns. During this hearing, all the people involved respond to the petition and share their thoughts and arguments about where the child should be placed and what other options could be considered. The court then makes a decision based on what's best for the child. When parents agree or admit that their child needs help, they accept that there are concerns about their child's well-being. They understand the issues and are willing to work with the court and child welfare system to ensure their child's safety and care. In this case, the court will formally acknowledge the child as a child in need of care, and there is no need for an adjudication hearing. If the parents deny the allegations, the court arranges an adjudication hearing. During this hearing, both sides present their evidence and arguments. The goal is to figure out if the allegations are believable. If the court finds enough evidence to support the allegations, they formally acknowledge that the child is a child in need of care at the adjudication hearing. After adjudication, the court moves on to a disposition hearing. During the disposition hearing, the court can give orders and make decisions about where the child should live, what services they need, and how they should be supervised. Depending on what the child and family need, the court might order things like counseling, therapy, educational support, or having the child stay in foster care for a while. A case plan is created at the hearing detailing the specific things that the parents or caregivers must do to address the problems that led to the child being recognized as a CINC. The case plan is made to keep the child safe, help them do well, and ideally, bring the family back together if it's possible. The court should choose the option that allows the child the most freedom, while still keeping them safe and looking after their best interests. The court will only take a child away from their parents if there is no other way to make sure the child is safe and well cared for. Taking a child away from their parents is seen as a last resort, and the court will do everything possible to avoid it. Once the court has decided what should happen with a child, they will write down all the details in a judgment of disposition. This includes the specific decision that was made about the child's care and situation, how long the decision will last, the institution or person who will care for the child, along with any other agencies or people involved in providing services to the child as determined by the court, and any additional conditions or rules that need to be followed. When a child is taken out of their parents' home, it's important to have regular review hearings as the next part of the process. These hearings are like checkpoints to keep an eye on how the child is doing. Parents or legal guardians are notified about the review hearings and are expected to attend and give updates and take part in deciding what's best for the child's future. When the court allows a child to go back home after the disposition phase of a CINC case, it doesn't mean that the case is automatically over. The court's decision to let the child return home is based on what's best for the child at the time, but the case may continue. The court might require a case plan that outlines specific conditions, or may schedule more review hearings to check on the parent's progress and the child's well-being. In addition to any review hearings after the disposition, the Child Welfare Agency or assigned caseworkers may also do ongoing monitoring and supervision. This is to check that the parents are following the requirements and conditions in the case plan and that the child's well-being is being taken care of. Caseworkers might visit the home, talk to the family, and assess the child's living conditions, safety, and overall development. Finally, a permanency hearing is held to make a final decision about what will happen to a child in need of care. The court's main priority is the child's best interests, and the ultimate goal is typically to bring the child back together with their parents if it's safe and suitable. The court determines a permanent plan for the child that is most appropriate and in the best interest of the child. Permanency reviews continue to be held until the child is permanently placed. Other issues you may consider when dealing with CINC cases are reaching informal adjustment agreements before the CINC process begins, temporary and permanent restraining orders in CINC cases, assessments and evaluation of parental rights, termination of parental rights, permanency planning for CINC cases, foster care and placement for CINC cases, and changes in child placement. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video on understanding child in need of care cases in Louisiana. If you're looking for more detailed guidance and resources or need further assistance, we invite you to explore our website, louisianalawhelp.org. This information is designed to help you navigate the process of getting child custody, along with any other legal matters you may be facing.